cmpradio.net. It's the station.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye here on cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and these times. We thank you for thy bounty and thy spirit. We thank you for the wonderful people that are in our lives and our family and those who approach us with care. We ask you for your healing hand for the sick and the affirmed, and we ask that you look over those who are young and that are needing guidance. Look over our women and protect them and keep them whole. Give all of our men strength and vigor that they may withstand life's perils. All these things we ask in your name. Amen. 2 Timothy chapter 3. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, and unholy. First and second verse, 2 Timothy chapter 3. I wanted to get those things out of the way so we can get right to the content. Welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye. This is my show. You know how it goes. I don't have letters in front of my name or behind my name. I do not claim to be the supreme knower of all things. I do not claim to be an authority on all things. I am just a person who is a careful observer of life and my environment, and I take the truth as it is. I don't have a gray area because it's too much BS going on. But before we get to that, let's talk about what's going on in Chester right now. The Dunkin' Donuts dilemma, the triple D going on, the Dunkin' Donuts dilemma.
Go ahead. I'm here.
Yo,
I'm here.
Can I say something, bro?
Go ahead, bro.
I want to say something.
What you want to say?
Don't y'all have a bakery?
We did. The owner of said bakery is a little sick, right? Not doing as well as he would like to be doing to open the bakery back up. So, yeah, we do have one. It's just not running currently.
Shame.
It is, because I love Fatso's.
Shame.
Right?
Shame.
And it was Ann's before that, right?
Yeah.
And donuts were always hot.
Yeah.
I remember
Man, come on.
before my grandma would wake up 5:30 in the morning. I'll be right back. Go get donuts and come back. Man, them joints be hot, bro.
Listen, I tell people there's reasons why I come and spend my money in Chester, and it's for food. It's for real, authentic grandma food that I can't get where I live. I promise, bro, I can't. And I'm not, ragging on where I live, but where I live don't have my taste.
Right.
So I got to come to where it is. It's here.
So
So let's talk about this Dunkin' Donuts situation, because this is not the Dunkin' Donuts from back in the day when the donuts was made fresh. This is not the Dunkin' Donuts from back in the day where the coffee was fresh. And I want to just say something. Me, partially, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care about Dunkin' Donuts whatsoever. I don't. I don't. You know why I don't? And I'm going to tell you why I don't. Okay? Because... And I saw it on some of the posts that, there's a location that employs Black Americans.
It is.
Okay. And, shout out to them for doing so.
Shout out to Brookhaven. Yeah, right? There's 2 Dunkin' Donuts in Brookhaven.
Yeah, shout out to those owners, those franchise owners that understand the community dynamic and putting familiar faces, at the counter that people will respect, because that's how it should go in any business, where you reach out to the locals and hire someone that the community can identify with while the brand is going. Absolutely. But let's talk about Dunkin' Donuts and how basically this franchise has always been, since they brought it, in control of the same people that rent houses to us. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean in control of?
No.
They are the same people.
Yes, the same people that have the Dunkin' Donuts franchise are the same people that rent houses to you. Like I said, I'm not biting my tongue, bro.
I don't see why you
do that. Because you know why? Because the money don't stay in the community, bro.
So we already understand that.
Well, the money don't stay in the community. And what do I talk about when I come on here? Don't I talk about Chester prospering? Don't I talk about that?
You do.
I talk about the community economics and the collectiveness of the pride of what I see about Chester.
Right, but you know what you need for that to happen.
Oh yeah, I know what I need. Like I said,
two things. It can either go 2 ways. Either people are scared into supporting each other,
right,
or people believe that they should support each other. There's no other way, right?
Well,
so when we're dealing with a franchise coming into a city, if we want other stores, if we want other people to see that they can gain from opening their businesses in Chester, then this is a good start. Now, this is what I'm saying, right? Dunkin' Donuts is a good start for future investors or for future stores to come, right? They said it's 2, not just 1. So it's going to be 2 Dunkin' Donuts, or it's going to be a Dunkin' Donuts and another store. I don't know, right? But we'll see, right? Because this is the beginning, right, of, I don't know. What is the beginning of?
I'm going to tell you what's the beginning of, because you have to understand, bro. All right? And I speak from corporate experience. Okay? And I'm not talking about come around and ask you how your meal was corporate experience. That wasn't my bag. I've done that when I climbed the ropes. But speaking from a corporate experience, you're getting nothing. You're getting nothing.
Well,
they're gonna hit their records and boast about it. They're gonna make at least $10K per day in the first week.
No.
Would you bet me? Want to bet me?
Unless,
want to bet me? Want to bet me?
You have to listen to me. Bro.
Okay. All right. Tell me about it.
Let's not.
Tell me about it.
Let's not be immature.
I'm not being immature.
Let's try to have.
I'm being hostile.
Let's have a conversation.
Yeah. It's hostile.
In the area where the Wawa is being built, do you know where they're building the Wawa at? I mean the Dunkin' Donuts.
It don't matter.
It does.
No, it don't.
It does.
No,
even though it doesn't matter, it does. Because if you think about down there on 291, down there closer to the Philadelphia Union, if they're building it down there, well, that's where the people that come in to town are located.
Of course.
So they would probably do good numbers being down there as opposed to being close to Harris with people coming in. You understand what I'm saying? So not if you have late or 24-hour service, bro. There aren't a whole bunch of people that really frequent. I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts. Now I did. We used to, You feel me? Like, but
when
now,
they were good, sure.
I mean back in the day when we first started.
Yeah, back in the day when they were good.
TV would go. Not even. It wasn't never good.
What do you mean? You crazy, bro? Back in the day, Dunkin' Donuts was a staple. Them donuts was made fresh, and they was made hot, and they was made on site.
Back in the day, we had a Dunkin' Donuts on 9th Street in Chester. Mm-hmm. That closed.
Yep.
So that Dunkin' Donuts hasn't been there since I graduated high school.
Right, because the company sold to foreign interests during that time.
Okay.
So, and during that time, when they sold to foreign interests, they didn't find your store economically viable.
It wasn't. We weren't in the economic.
No, you weren't you weren't in the economically viable zone,
right,
like you are now.
And it's not like.
No, like you are now. You are now.
You saying you like it's us.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not bringing it here for us. That's
right. They're not right. They're not bringing it for us. They're bringing it for the future, for future interests. Okay, for future general interests. I understand that, but who's going to patronize it first?
The people that are down there.
Okay, and guess what? How much is a coffee at a Dunkin' Donuts right about now? $3-4?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get 10 people to go in there. Okay, and you service them in under 5 minutes. You want that calculator to tick? I guarantee you that the goal is $10K per day in the first week. With all of the deals, with all of the incentives.
That's a goal that doesn't do anything for me. Are you supporting the local sports? That's what I want.
That's my point. That's my point.
So who is holding?
Right, go ahead.
Who is having the meetings with these organizations?
I don't know.
Coming into Chester.
I don't know. Not me.
To find out if they are
not
supporting
me.
Chester football, Chester High football.
Maybe it's the council people.
Chester Clippers football.
Maybe it's the solicitor.
Chester Panthers football. Chester Township football. Upland Hurricanes football. Biddy.
I don't know.
Are they?
I don't know.
I don't know why they wouldn't know.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, you know why I don't know?
All right.
Because if I were in the know, I would have been at the table. Okay, and you know why I would have been at the table? Because I understand how corporates run. They have money. They even franchises. They have money for community sponsorships. But where does it go to? Does it go directly to the city, or does it go to select nonprofits? I don't want to, Bryce. I want to tell you something, bro. I've done this for a number of years. And I am kind of an expert at this one when it comes to charitable events, because that was my thing as an event coordinator for several places that I worked for, sports bar management and stuff like that. Okay.
No, it's the final plan to develop 2 fast food restaurants with a drive-through and parking lot at 0 East 4th Street. So it is down there by.
There it is. Is to get the traffic off the highway. What's it going to do? Compete with that Sunoco down there that does breakfast, lunch?
I think that they're building in Eddystone.
So it's further down the road.
Yeah, it's East 4th Street. So East 4th Street is down there.
To compete with the Royal Farms. Yeah. See, the Royal Farms showed that it is economically viable. The Royal Farms showed in its first 3 years that it was here. I mean, it got help from the hotel, don't get me wrong. But they sold that chicken.
Oh, they had the Royal Farms out in Aston.
Yeah.
Right.
And they
high traffic areas.
So
I believe they should build a market over there on Highland Avenue.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Why is that a problem?
Why is that a problem?
Yeah. Why is that not something that they're trying to do?
Actions and behaviors of the community. Oh, what?
What actions do you expect from people that have not had something? We're talking about 5 generations.
Okay, well, I understand we're talking about 5 generations, but here's the thing, and we're going to talk about that, okay? You go into other communities and you patronize the brand and you act civil. The brand don't care that they don't put it down there. They know that you're going to buy that brand. They know that you're going to travel for that brand. They've been doing this study since 1940, bro. They know you're going to go 100 miles for what you want and spend $100. They know it because they know how we spend money as consumers. That's why we don't have that economic unity, because everybody wants to spend their dollar the way they want to spend their dollar, and they don't want to put it in a pot and have a group say how we going to spend their money. We don't have a code of conduct. This is why corporations are easy to slip in rather than build up the businesses that you have. I've been all over across Delco, and all across Delco, there are townships, cities, boroughs, and municipalities that don't have these big name, high traffic places, but they got these local businesses that are thriving because the community supports them. Okay? The community makes sure that their local flower shop stays open. The community makes sure that their local coffee place stays open. The community makes sure that they go to the breakfast spot in their community. They don't go to the Wawa. They don't go to the Wonder. They don't go to these places because they understand that the person that's living and working in that business is part of their community, and that person contributes. I want to touch on the fact that, this whole thing about businesses giving back. Corporations have money, and it is very much tax deductible for them to contribute to anything that you got going on in this city. Don't let nobody BS you on that point. They're selective on who they choose. So whoever is in the know will probably get the dough. That's how this going to go down, Bryce. Trust me on it. You're going to see it develop. We all know who's at the table. We all know who's got their snouts in the trail. We know which piggies are going to feed themselves and get full and then turn around and say, oh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Huh? There's no room at the trial.
So 0 East 4th Street is right across the street from, right. It looks like it's right at the corner City Hall. 0 East 4th Street, which is crazy.
What's over there? Hold on. What's over there near City Hall that's been sitting there for a while?
Nothing.
No, wasn't there a little restaurant over by the Union Hall?
I don't know the space. Like, I don't see where they have to tear down some. Those are old historic houses. Most of the buildings over town were built back in, like, so you
built to last.
You can't really tear them houses down.
Why can't you?
Because you can. That's history. It's supposed to be. It's not preserved. Hey, man, listen. I don't know. Well, okay.
They don't want no history, bro. They want some money.
Yeah, well, money.
Hold on. They want some money. They want some money. They want some money. They want some money. Okay? And I'm going to say this, in my opinion, everybody, because I don't want you to get mad and think that I'm telling you what to do. But in my opinion, I've watched certain companies grow, bro. I grew with certain companies. I've managed portfolios that are absolutely crazy. I'm talking about in the millions of dollars. I understand the dynamics of this. But like I said, I got this love for Chester and want to see the success of its local businesses and its local coffee shops and its local bakeries and everything that comes between it, because I believe that if you grow locally, you won't have this expeditious need for corporations. I'm not, like I said, I personally don't like Dunkin' Donuts. Ever since it changed hands, ever since the big burly guy with the mustache time to make the donuts, ever since he disappeared, I have not eaten a Dunkin' Donut. I don't drink his coffee. I don't do none of that. I don't get none of their little fruity drinks, none of that stuff. I don't do none of it. Okay? I can't tell you the last time I've been in a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. I can't tell you the last time I drank Dunkin' Donuts coffee. That's just me. I don't care. Representative can give me $100 in gift cards or whatever, and I will find a way to give them Jones away. That's how bad I can't stand that. So, call me a little bit biased, and you've never heard me be real biased. I'm real biased on that because, again, I really think that the competitiveness of the corporation is going to out-hustle and out-muscle certain spots. I think that the longevity of it, if they don't become part of a corporate or part of a community sponsorship with local dynamics, that it's just going to benefit one revenue stream, and that's whoever the city picks, whether it's this current administration or the next one or the next one or the next one, because we've seen how certain deals and concessions have been made elsewhere in order to get that type of incentive to come here. Well, Upper Darby's still lagging, but they're a work in progress. I happened to see some of the planning guys taking pictures down on 69th Street today. Shout out to those guys. They took pictures of what I was doing today. But yeah, what's in it for you, Chester? Besides a latte.
What's in it for us is understanding that big business can come and thrive in the city, right? What's in it for us is understanding that until we come together, we won't have too much, we won't get too much, and we won't be able to receive too much. What's in it for us is the understanding that our community is valuable. Mm-hmm. Our community is a money-making community. Our community can do whatever it wants to do. Right?
So again, if our community has all of these aspects, and I believe that, I know it. Hold on, bro. I know it. I've seen it up live and personal. I've seen money exchange hands, and I've seen people have a good time with it, and I've seen no issues and everything like that, like I've seen in other places. So, like I said, when I and everybody hears me, I'm always been pro Chester. I don't live here. I'm not born here, but I come here. I eat here. You know what I'm saying? I socialize here. I have friends here. I have family here. My grandchildren went to school here. So being in this environment, like I said, I'm comfortable, bro. I'm in a black community. I don't have that, look over my shoulder, or can't identify with what I'm walking around with. Where I live at, I can't identify with what I'm walking around with. That's why I come to be in a black community, so I can't forget. What? I'm serious, man. You don't understand what it feels like. See, for me, I've traveled, okay? And I've been in environments where I've been the only black person. Like, literally.
You were uncomfortable in those
No, I wasn't uncomfortable with them. Okay. But I couldn't wait to get back to my situations in my community with what I'm comfortable with. Right. You know what I'm saying? Where I don't have to put a mask on or be a certain type of way to be accepted. Because in those spaces, I had to be something in order to be somebody. Right. Okay. So, not to get it twisted, I accepted those spaces, by the way. Nobody forced me into them. I forced my way into those rooms. So, but I'm saying I had to keep myself grounded with my culture, with my people, with, the surroundings. Because again, like I told a friend of mine today, it don't matter where I ascended to and don't matter which room I went in, I still got to come back to the row home. I still got to come back to the block. I still got to see the same people that I step out of my door with. And I can't have this, I'm better than you type of persona with people that, I live next door to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not better than you. I'm just, trying to get above the struggle a little bit faster than you. That's all it is. No disrespect to you, but I'm still in action. I'm still moving because I know that it's not going to be given to us. We still have to do the work.
How long do you think we have to continue to hear that it's not going to be given to us, but it can be taken from us?
Well, until we actually solidify the fact that we're going to have a code of conduct not for it to be taken from us again, okay, that's where we have to start.
So a code of conduct for it not to be taken from us again
has to be an understanding that I'm in defense of you. So let's put it like this, P. I'm in defense of you. You feel me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, directly to you.
And I'm in defense of you.
Okay, there we go.
Right.
There we go. So the chain starts to link up. So we're in defense of each other. We understand that we have to think the worst case scenario of what can happen to us because we're creatures of that. We understand the dynamic of life, that Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will.
Do you think a majority of our community understands that?
I think the majority of our community is kind of optimistic. No. See, it's levels of optimism, bro. It's levels. It's levels.
I know it's levels.
Right, it's levels of optimism. So again, but
it's
overall,
levels to everything.
Right. But overall, the general population, they remain optimistic.
Of what?
Of that there's a better situation.
Where?
Or something. Bro, wait till I get mine. I can't wait until I know that this is going to happen for me. Come on, bro. That's an optimism.
Hey, listen.
That's and we hear that, right?
We do.
Okay, so that's optimism.
That's what you want to label it.
No, that's not what I want to label it. That's what it is. But it's different levels. It's not your level. It's not my level. I know that when I leave here, I got to eat, so I got to go to work. I got to put some performance in. I know that. I know that nothing's given to me. Nothing ever was. And I mean ever. At the end of the day, besides what was given to me as a child by my parents, but, you know, my sneakers, I went and cut hedges. I cut, grass. My arcade money, I had a paper route. I understood what it took at a young age because we were poor. We weren't poverty, but we were a family of 7. You know what I'm saying? We ate, we had breakfast, lunch, dinner. We had the lights were on, you know what I mean? The lights ain't go out. Heat was on in the winter, stuff like that. We conserved, had a fireplace, stuff like that. So we went and chopped down trees and stuff like that and split logs. But, at the end of the day, all of the stuff that, I saw all the kids getting when the B-boy stage came out and the Lee jeans and, suede Adidas and stuff like that, my mom couldn't afford that. I had to go hustle. So I did. I ain't cry about it. That's the difference. I didn't cry about it. I knew that that's what I had to do. And guess what? I felt good about it. I felt so good that I left home at 16 because I was making money. I felt that good. No disrespect to my mother or my father, but I felt that good to do something about it. That's not my fault that other people don't have that initiative inside of them, bro. But we can train people up to get to that level, but they got to get rid of the silliness. They got to get rid of the distraction. They got to get rid of the woe is me mentality, victim, blah, blah, blah. We don't have time for that no more. No, we don't. I know they do it, but that's why.
No, I'm saying we still have to acknowledge that.
No, we ain't got to acknowledge nothing. That's the problem. No, bro, that's the problem. And I had this conversation with Tanisha. That's the problem. We are giving in to too many feels. Bro, can I tell you something? And I'm being this wholeheartedly. Okay? You and I are men who see what the problem is.
Right.
Okay? We see what the problem is. We see it from all sides. All sides. We know it's a problem. We walk around it. Okay? We observe it. We watch to see if it's growing. We see what point, which way. We feel the pulse of it. We feel the problem. It makes us angry. Okay? Now, we want to come to the table because we can solve the problem, but it's going to be very draining. It's going to be very time consuming. Okay? It's going to be very expensive. But we're saying as men, if we can have some like-minded individuals who see the problem the same way we do, what's the talking for? It's too much talk, bro. It's too much talk. I said this 7 years ago when I first appeared on the show. It's too much talk.
So you don't think that
I got to deal with these feelings of these soft ass men, bro.
it's not dealing with the feelings of these soft ass men. It's trying to understand where people. You say it's levels, so you're trying to understand what level are our helpers on,
bro. If
everybody's not going to be on the. If you're saying there's levels to optimism, there's levels to everything.
Okay,
everybody's not on the same
I
level.
agree, bro. But if you're a man that has already established yourself, you've already been through the streets, you've already been through community, you've already been through corporate, you've already been through the politics. Okay, I'm not talking about someone who is young or someone who doesn't have the experience that we've gathered. You know what I'm saying? We've gathered experience by doing. We gathered experience by being in these rooms and being a part of these situations by immersing ourselves into the conversation initially. Okay? Reentry program. Okay? Take that for example. Okay? There was a lot of dialogue that had to go into building the reentry program. And it started here in Chester because I was here for the meetings. Okay? So that dynamic I understand because no one was really reaching out to those who are coming home so that they don't go back. Okay?
I think it's the inner workings of the machine that allows.
I get it, but there were still grassroots people, mainly here in Chester, who had loved ones that had successfully completed different programs, came home, couldn't find a place to live, couldn't find a job. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about sex offenders. I'm talking about men who got busted on nonviolent crimes and everything like that, and they don't get that second chance. Okay? Bro, they don't get that second chance. Okay? Seriously.
Again.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that you said there's levels to this shit. You feel me? Like, you can't then say that...
No, so I'm saying the reentry program was built. It was built off of those levels. This is the point I'm trying to make.
I feel like when we talk about reentry and we don't address the POs, probation officer.
That's what the reentry program was for, to address them. Right. They were in the room too.
Because I don't feel like they should be another form of the law. I feel like they should be social work.
Exactly. Hold on, bro. That's what the reentry program was built to design to do, to have these courts that are specifically set up for individuals and have these programs set up where everybody is in sync with it. The probation officer, the job counselor, the mental health practitioner, if needed. You know what I mean? Everything streamlined for that person who spent so many years away and now has to come home and wants to be a productive member of society, but it's not given that leg up. And we know why a lot of our brothers and sisters went back to prison, because they had to commit a robbery or something like that because they had no place to go. That's the majority of people that's in prison right now, bro. When they reoffend, it's because they got nowhere to go. They've got no one to love them enough to give them a hand. I'm not saying that for all cases. And I know some people, law and order crowd, blah, 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 well, they did it the first time. Yeah, okay, be cynical. I don't care. At the end of the day, we still have to deal with it, is what I'm trying to say. We still have to deal with it. That's not going to change. Your feeling, your opinion is not going to change the fact that here's the problem. So why are we wasting time on a feeling? Why am I wasting time 15, 20, 25 minutes of a conversation of you giving me a background of how this problem affects you somewhere in your past where listen, this problem affected us in the past. That's why we should be dealing with it right away so it doesn't affect anybody else in the future. That's my problem. We don't get anywhere because we got to have all of these meetings. We got to have a meeting for this. We got to have a meeting for that. We got a meeting for this. If you don't bring your toolbox, you think the Amish have a meeting about building a barn, bro? You think they have a meeting?
Who?
The Amish.
Absolutely.
They don't have no meeting about building a barn. They say, on this day, we're going over to Josiah's field to build the barn. And everybody gets the message. Everybody brings their toolbox, and everybody puts themselves in place. And according to their skill, they go and they put themselves in place.
According to their what?
According to their skills.
So it took a while for them to develop.
No. They have. But I'm saying, these men have developed the skills to build the barns because guess what? It's generational. It's generational.
So,
okay,
there it is. So if we don't have that, if there are people that have that, and they standing up top, then the people that have the generational skill set, they should be the leaders. The people that don't have the generational skill set should follow behind. But still, they should be taught. Still, we should have meetings to teach people.
I get that. That's called workshops and seminars. When we have a meeting to gain control of a problem, everyone should come to that table, not with what happened or why it happened.
No, we ain't worried about that.
I'm not worried about. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's clean the milk up.
Yeah. Let's clean the milk up.
We're not gonna have a meeting on how to clean the milk up.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're gonna use a towel.
We're gonna use a towel.
We're gonna use a napkin.
We're gonna use a mop.
We're gonna use a vacuum.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna remove the carpet.
Like that's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Right. We gotta have these meetings of order.
But people don't know that.
No, they don't understand that people who are actionable, you're wasting our time.
So you're coming in with an agenda. The agenda is to come up with the solution right? And it's all solution based to help the community move forward.
Right.
How can we help the community move forward? Now it's levels to that shit too.
Well, first things first. First things first. Anything in the community, anything with the community that's community based, you already have quivers. You already have arrows in your quiver. You already have certain arrows that are already there, that are absolutely generational. Okay? You already have ordinances and laws that combat some of this stuff to fix some of this problem out here, with our youth. And all of it doesn't have to be punishable measures. We also need to have some constructive building measures to change the mind of our youth and give them some stability, because school's out, bro. They ain't gonna be thinking about nothing except waking up, get something to eat, play that game, wait for the sun to go down, go outside, see what's cracking, nothing. All right, what we getting into? What y'all getting into? If we don't understand that right now, this is repetitive. This is why this shouldn't even be a conversation. This is yearly. We go through this yearly. We had the same conversation yearly. Get prepared for the youth. Get prepared for the summer. Get prepared for this. And people act like, oh, well, we need to give the kids the benefit of the doubt, because if they don't have this, then, man, get away from me, please. Stop. Please and stop. These children need supervised areas of positive events. Supervised, parents, not by the police. I'm tired of saying the cops got to be at our event in case there's trouble. No, parent, why don't you show up and act right yourself, so that way we don't have to deal with your unruly child? Because we got to talk about this, because we're going to talk about these teen takeovers, bro, because the summer's about to be hot. And a lot of people, like I said, I'm from these streets. I walk them. I talk to the youth. I go up to the young boy that's selling drugs. Yo, what's going on, young man? How you feeling? I talk to them. I ain't scared to talk to no kid out here on the street. I'm not going to argue with him. I'm not going to debate him. I'm going to treat him with respect. But I'm not scared to talk to these kids. I'm not scared to talk to these young men. They looking for ways out. They looking for honesty. They looking for trust. They don't have none. So what do they got? They got each other. Teen takeovers. Let's get right into it. Teen takeovers. Chicago, Washington, Baltimore, New Jersey, Milwaukee, Rhode Island, Detroit, and right here in good old Delco, Springfield, PA. What? Springfield, PA is one of the whitest areas of Delco. Okay? Let's be honest. Shout out to my people in Springfield. I'm only talking about y'all because I'm talking about y'all. Anyway, it's a suburb. It's houses out there worth 300, 400, 500, $500,000, blah, 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 whatever. They big into their sports. They big into their communities. Big into it. Big into it. Okay? Their teams have sponsors. The local businesses, not the corporations. The local construction, the local bakeries, the local flower shop, the local lawyer. Banners all up on their baseball fields from the local businesses. Dermont Field in Upper Darby. Have you ever been there? Oh, man. Go over there. Go over there and look at what the Drexel Little League over there has, Drexel Hill Little League has built. Shout out to my man, Nicky Hoyt, and that whole staff over there. I'm not hating, but I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the local hardware store that has a banner on that wall. I'm looking at the local flower shop that has a banner on that wall. I'm looking at the local electricians. I mean, I'm talking about the local electrician as well as the big name electrician, companies on that on their gates and on their walls. Same thing how we're looking at this application for admission for a Men of Honor, Infinite Men of Honor, and how that in order to get some things started collectively, it takes economics to do it.
It does.
It takes economics to do it. There's no getting past it, ladies and gents. Same way when we had our nonprofit Tailor-Made Vets. It took money to run it. It took money from my brother to keep the website going. It took money from my brother to go and establish us in Florida and Maryland. We weren't just in Delaware County and Pennsylvania. We were in 2 other states. That was our movement. We were going to put a Tailor-Made Vets in every state, bro. That was the movement. We didn't wait for people to come on. That's my point of what I'm saying. We didn't wait for them. We mobilized. We got to the area and we put our nose to the grindstone and started working the problem down, even if it was by ourselves. Help did come. That's how we got started with, having recovery without barriers down 69th Street for the drug addicted and unhoused. 2 black men, 2 white women. Everybody trying to have a meeting on what to do. Everybody trying to have a meeting on who going to coordinate this, who going to have a title for that, 2 black men, 2 white women went down 69th Street, took a look at the problem and said, this is what we're going to do. And that's what we did. We didn't have a meeting about it. We had a discussion. Who has the table? Who can cook this? Who can do that? We're going to go feed these people. Put it on social media. First it was us, then we got community support. Then we got community support. Then we got a lot of community support. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wanted to jump in and come down 69th Street and push these women out and push these people out. And, oh, you're unqualified. You're not this, you're not that. But nobody went down there to solve a problem. By the way, the 63rd Street homeless shelter is closed. Just so you know, you can get ready for the winter with that, ladies and gents. It's going to be a hard summer and a cold winter. So I'm just letting you know, if you didn't know, the Life Center at 63rd Street is closed. It ain't reopening. Say goodbye. That property's going to have something else, probably affordable housing. It's right by the train. It'd be perfect. But all of these cities have recently had some form of takeovers. Now, takeovers are a viral social media organized event that is supposed to encourage the youth primarily to come to areas and socialize and hang out and chill. Okay? Now, in the sense of it, it seems like a very good idea, except for the fact that the capacity is way beyond human manageability. This is not to deter your child from going out and having fun, but I want to let some parents understand that secretly your child may have or is planning to be part of these takeovers as they developed. And it's about to be a very serious issue in a lot of townships, cities, municipalities, and boroughs. And there are cities, municipalities, and boroughs and mayors all across the country that are looking at these cities specifically because why? The FBI is actually investigating the Chipotle chair throwing incident in Washington, D.C. over the Memorial Day holiday. Over the Memorial Day holiday in Chicago, you had police hospitalized because a car hit several officers, so the officers were targeted. And I get it. Some of you don't like the police. I get it. I listen, I'm not here to judge you. You don't like the police. Okay. You got your reason. But that man or woman probably just wanted to go home to their child. And you have to remember that these police respond. They ain't out there causing it. And yes, we've seen some incidences of a lot of police going beyond the certain level of using a certain amount of applied force to a lot of people, and they need to be held accountable. Absolutely, I am not condoning any police brutality or violence to quell violence. But if your children or if your young adult who still lives in your house is creating the issue, what do you think the responses should be or is going to be when you have property damage, when you have people shooting indiscriminately into crowds, injuring and murdering people? Oh, the kids just having fun. They just out here having fun. They just having a good time. I'm here to tell you, being shot at is not a good time. Being stabbed is not a good time. Being run over by a car is not a good time. This is not big fun in Baltimore like it's the Huxtables. This, you know what I mean? This ain't Miss Claire Huxtable, yelling at, yelling at her child, yelling at Vanessa and saying, you had big fun with the wretched. But here we are, years later, and we go back and we look at the dynamics of that show, of what parents are having to do with their children and how they're being influenced to be a part of a culture that's not part of their value in their home. I'm quite sure that some of these kids that get arrested, by the time their parents get to the police station, they like, what the hell's going on? My kid's not into that. Well, I'm here to tell you, Mom and Dad, conspiracy is a real crime. Conspiracy is a real crime. And I know that those 4 individuals that did the meetup and everything like that, they got cleared and everything because charges couldn't be brought against them because they did not incite a riot. They just held a meetup. They didn't incite a riot. Their intent was not for people to riot. But you have to understand something. You put a bunch of teens in an unsupervised area by the hundreds and or thousands. What do you think is going to happen? This isn't Woodstock. This isn't Live Aid. This isn't USA for Africa. We can't have those things anymore. We can't have those nice things anymore where you could go out, have a good time, meet some people, enjoy yourself, and then go home. It's very disheartening to have to tell your grandchildren, now you can't go to the Roots picnic. You can hear it from the house, but you're not going down there. It's very disheartening as a kid growing up. I could go to my downtown. I could go shop as a teenager. I could go in the stores and shop. But now we run a risk of sending our kids out to these places where a lot of youth congregate. And it's not 1 or 2 that spoil the bunch. It's a bunch that spoils the bunch. And it's so rapid. What happened out in Springfield was a damn shame. And I don't care how you feel about it. Because the video only showed a certain demographic beating a person with a crutch. You want to explain that away? You want to say that somebody deserved to be beaten with a crutch and it's just all in fun and that's what kids do? That's attempted murder. Humans, if you're not keeping score. That's attempted murder. But we're going to have big fun with these teen takeovers because nobody wants to get in control of the problem, which is Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Discord, just to name a few. I'm quite sure that there's some dark web apps that are on your children's phones or tablets or inside of a cloud somewhere or whatever, where they're hiding it, where all of this information is going down, parents. We want to talk about parental accountability. But before that, let's talk about, wait a minute. We're going to talk about the fighting at beaches and how certain areas in New Jersey have responded very, very, very quickly with curfews and no book bags, and that you must be accompanied with an adult after a certain time. And then after a certain time, you and that adult have to leave because they don't want you walking around free. They don't want you walking around free. And you're going to have to do with it. Go ahead and argue with them. Go ahead and get locked up. Go get locked up. Go ahead and argue with them. Go ahead and plead your bleeding heart case to something they have established and said, we're done. Go ahead. Because as for me, you ain't got to tell me once. That's what y'all doing? Pew, I'm going the other direction. I don't want no parts of that. And it's good over here of the no parts land. Having no parts of drama and foolishness, it feels good over here. I'm having a big old party over here. Ain't nobody stopping me from enjoying myself in the land of no parts. But over here, Drama Island, Teen Takeover land, we got to argue about the feelings of people while they destroy property. Let's talk about Milwaukee and the Bayshore Mall and Moody Park with gunfire and arrests. Let's talk about Detroit, Peterson Park, gunfire, multiple gunshot victims. And you want to send your 14-year-old out? You want your 13-year-old to be a part of that experience? I'm sorry. My bad. I'm not here to regulate your house. But I'm going to tell you what's going to go down. And you don't want that phone call. You don't want to go down to a police precinct and have to bail your child out. Because now, not only is your child in the system, you are too. You're the parent. Your name has to go on record too. So now you in the system. That's what that does. Now all your stuff is going to that software that they use, that predictability software called Plantier. Oh, and they definitely going to use it because guess what? They got these drones and they got them towers. And if your kid is at one of these takeovers, ping, 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 ping. Like I told a hustler today. Ain't nobody snitching on y'all. Y'all snitching on yourselves. Y'all backwards. Y'all put everything on social media. Yeah, we out here. We outside. I'm down here, Myrtle Beach, da-da-da-da. And we digging in this, da-da-da-da-da-da. Crime happened. Ooh, oh, man, why you come to me? You pinged in the area. So you had to see something. And even if you ain't have nothing to do with it because you're in close proximity of a crime, close proximity, they may want to come to you and see if you have any video or photo footage from your phone. And they can get that subpoena and go through your stuff and then stay in your phone. Oh, yeah, once the police get your number, ladies and gentlemen, you're done. That's a helpful hint. Once they have your number, you're done. You're done. They're in your photos. They're watching your spending history, where you go, where you frequent, and they putting it through that AI model, and that AI model is throwing up a virtual map of where you go and who you associate with and who you're known to associate with and this, that, and the third, and your spending habits, what you spend on this and what you spend on that. Because you do everything through this phone. And if you think I'm lying, go to your police chiefs. Ask them about that Palantir software that they got. Ask them about them flock cameras that they got. Ask them about those drones that they got. Don't think your police departments are broke, ladies and gentlemen. They ain't broke. Everybody just wants a new contract because everybody wants new money because it's hazard pay and, retirement and, benefits and stuff like that. And, the police do a good job of having to deal with criminals and stuff like that. The ones that deal with criminals and understand enforcing the law. Shout out to you. Not the ones who take their badge and their position and that gun and those handcuffs like you want to come out here and hurt somebody because you don't like what they said. I'm going to keep talking. Because I ain't worried about that gun or them handcuffs or your badge. You're a human being just like me. I ain't worried about none of that. Because I'm going to treat you with the respect that you treat me. And that's what has to happen, this code of conduct that I keep talking about. But let's talk about, again, in Springfield, the Heroes Bowl. 10 years that this thing has been on the shelf. 10 years they brought it back. 10 years they brought it back so that way it can help support families of law enforcement, fire, EMS who have either passed away in the line of duty or passed away, succumbed to their injuries, or the family needs support for an injured individual who is a first responder. This is a fundraiser. And the participation is community-based. But because it's Springfield, the white neighborhood, the white neighborhood, you know how many little nasty little comments that I saw up and down the internet about the fact that you're going to blame the people where they live in their community for the trouble that was brought to their community and the destruction that was done in their community and the response that was all Delco law enforcement, their cars screaming up and down interstates and state roads and everything to get these kids and adults under control. You had parents scrambling to grab their young kids who don't know nothing about this type of stuff, but you don't understand the trauma that you're creating with the violence and the mayhem and all of the screaming and the cussing that's going on. These kids haven't been around that type of environment, and that's not fair to anybody to say, oh, well, that's what we did, You're causing emotional damage and trauma to somebody else's kid. And you wouldn't want it for yourself. That's the common sense thing that I see. Argue with me. Go argue with your mother. Go argue with your father. If you're in that type of environment and you hear the sights and sounds of violence, that kid's going to have a nightmare. You've now created a stereotype in different communities where now people are skeptical about having certain individuals because of a color, the demographic. You created that. How do I know? Because now we back to the, I'm damn near 59 years old and we back to the purse clutching. We back to the looks of when I get on elevators now where certain white women are crouching up like, they about to get hit. And I know some of y'all laughing about some of that stuff, but I just want to say that like y'all create these things and then expect people to respect you. I don't respect you. So I don't expect none of the people that I know that had to suffer through this indignity in their own neighborhoods, in their own communities, up on their own football field, in their own businesses, on their own streets, and their cars being damaged and jumped on and stuff like that, and people being beat up on lawns like it was a kegger. And there's video. So before you go, oh, Rich, you just trying to blame. Go look at the video and you tell me what voices you hear. You tell me what faces you see. That's the beauty of video. It's indisputable. But y'all want to make feelings out of this. Y'all want to bring feelings into a problem. It's already a problem. Your feelings are going to make it worse. Because now we got to take time to put a bottle in your mouth and put some powder on your butt and diaper you and burp you to sleep before you want to decide to put a shovel to it. Talk too much. I'm bored. I'm absolutely bored. There's so many people we can reach. There's so many people that can be hands in, but y'all got y'all picks. Youth advocacy. Oh, before we get to youth advocacy, let's talk about the law enforcement responses that are about to happen in a lot of major cities. And the first law enforcement response that is happening right now is parental accountability. That means parents, if your kid is caught out there being a general nuisance, disorderly conduct, destruction of property, simple assault, aggravated assault, assault with a deadly weapon, you yourself may be in danger of being locked up with your disobedient, disrespectful, unruly child. I'm all for that. Make sure you put me in the cell next to my kid so I can show him what it's like to be in jail. Make sure you put my child, if any of even my grandchildren, if my child or my grandchildren are anything part of this and you want to come get me, hurry up and come get me, but make sure I'm in the cell right there with them and you ain't ever going to have to worry about that problem ever again. Hell, you ain't going to have to worry about that problem with mine because I guarantee you I didn't raise my kids to be that way. Even to this day with my grandchildren. I haven't gotten with the times. I don't believe in having all of these conversations with children. Look here, grandson. Get your stuff together before I have to check you. And I'm only going to say it once. And that's all I do. Like I said, I have children who haven't listened to me and they felt my wrath. I have grandchildren that have disrespected their parents and they felt my wrath. I'm not going to change that up because of the times, because of the way that you run your house. Run it. But yes, they are actively considering charging parents and jailing you. So stop being a friend to your child. Stop saying, do as I say, not as I do, because your children are watching you. They're watching your misbehaviors. They're watching the revolving door of your house of activity, your home of activity, your bedroom of activity. They're listening to the same death music that you're listening to, the same kill music, the same murder music. You play it. You play it in the car. You play it in the house. And then you watch your little children rap to that murder music as kids and you laugh and you laugh and you laugh. But then when they become teenagers and they don't listen to you and they hard-headed because you have ingrained inside of them the same type of behaviors that you yourself have, and you expect them to follow your lead and be disciplined when you're not disciplined yourself as an adult. Don't judge me. Look in the mirror and judge yourself. Look in the mirror and judge yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. You can be a goody two-shoes and your kids can still mess up. How you doing? You can be strict. You can put them in programs and your kids can still mess up. How you doing? I'm not here to judge, but I'm here to warn you. Just like last week When I warned you that on June 6th, all of these police departments are going to get their money if you don't take that phone out of your hand while you're driving. They're going to pull you over. They're going to get that $50. That's an easy $50. It's easy. Because I know what y'all going to say. They ain't going to catch me. Or, man, I'm just going to keep it low. Man, I'm just going to tuck my chain in. I'm just going to tuck it in. Go ahead. Devo coming. Debo coming. Debo. D-Police. They coming. Please talk to your newly arrived family members, especially. I'm not trying to be, radical with what I say. But you have a lot of new arrivals. They sitting around on their phone like this. They literally are talking like this and FaceTiming and driving. And by June the 6th, they're going to get pulled over. Not only do they get pulled over for the phone, reckless driving, driving impaired, checking for DUIs. Do you have any drugs in the car? Where are you coming from? Where you going? All unnecessary. Don't hit me in the head. They passed this law last year. They passed this law last year. They pass laws every year for the youth. I come on this show and I said it. I said it back in 2018. They pass laws for the youth in Pennsylvania every year. Don't matter Democrat, Republican. They got to be hard on crime now because your kids are out of control. But hold on, there's hope. Like me and Pete were talking about, bringing people together. Youth advocacy, peer-to-peer. We have a lot of young men who have graduated and gravitated away from these streets. They used to be hard on them too. They put themselves into some positions and they know that they can go back into these community with their usefulness, and we need to support those young men that are absolutely doing that as a fact, and that's what I want to help with. Investment in constructive activities. Let me give you the math problem. Displaced teens minus open spaces equals idleness and disorderly conduct. We can't displace them and send them to the four winds without giving them some place to go. I remember that during the crack era in Philadelphia, they had the midnight gyms. I know that a certain fitness corporation advertises for young people to come and work out, and get them off the streets. And I know that program's going to start. We need to just give all hands in, whether it's on your neighborhood block. If you're the person that the kids love you, Miss Donna, Miss, Miss Kathy, we know that you got to dig in. We need the community to dig in. Those kids, get them up for a movie night. Go make some s'mores. Somebody open up that fire pit and let them roast some hot dogs or something like that, or whatever. There's all sorts of ways that are very low budget that we can all do in groups with kids that we know. You don't have to supervise some unknown kid. But if you know that your son or your daughter is on a team of people where they hang out together, it's 5 or 6 of them, make sure them 5 or 6 of them are at your crib. Or switch it up with the houses. Make sure it's supervised. We have problems in Upper Darby Township with unsupervised teens that just recently shot a child in the head because the person knew where the gun was. Wasn't his first time. You can look at, what he confessed to in the news. He said it wasn't the first time, pretty much, that they knew where it was, and that he knows by Facebook that when he takes the magazine out, he's supposed to clear it. So he was familiar with the weapon at 14, unsupervised, untrained, and a mother lost a daughter senselessly. It's all hands in, even if it's just your household. You don't have to take on everybody, but take care of your house. Take care of your house. If you don't want your kids out there, don't have your kids out there. They're not missing anything. It's the same old, same old. You got the girls dancing for TikTok or the Snap. You got the boys flexing and pushing each other and, cussing up a storm and, all this other type stuff going on and just looking for some type of general harassment. I understand the fun and everything like that, but, I'm sorry, we grew up in the age of activities. A teen takeover should have some type of activity. They're just milling around and looking at each other and Snapchatting and, I'm going to meet up with my op. I'm going to see my op down there and, blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. Or we're going to go over here and mess with this business because we ain't like the way that they serve their food. It stink, da, 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 da. Whatever reason. These small feelings that these disruptive and unruly children have are causing people money. It's costing people money, folks. So don't get mad that we're saying that we're not supposed to put up with this or find an excuse. Are you paying those insurance premiums? Are these people that's got to clean up behind stuff? Or that they got to lose time because they got to go to the hospital? And we don't have no hospitals around here, Chester. Have a takeover. We don't have any hospitals. That's the main stressful thing that I need you to stress to your children this summer. There are no hospitals. Zero. They cannot treat you at the urgent care for a gunshot wound. You're going to go to Christiana. And it's going to take 15, 20 minutes, even at a high speed. Stop it. This recent rash of violence in the city has to come to an end. People, get your feelings together. It's not that deep. It's not that deep that you have to kill one another over a small perceived slight of words. They disrespected me. They gotta die? You can't just beat them up? You can't throw hands? You can't get a fair one? They just got to be off this earth. And then you got to go on the run. And then when you get caught, you want people to feel sorry for you. Make it make sense, folks. Because that's what we see people doing. Well, you got to understand his situation. No, I don't. I don't understand murder. You can't make me wrap my head around murder. You can't make me wrap my head around somebody's death. You can't make me rap. I can't. I don't even want to think about it. And I have my own personal reasons why. But even before that, I have my own personal reasons why. I didn't believe in taking somebody's life. And I damn sure didn't wish nobody's death. But that's what we got. We need some youth advocacy and some parental accountability. Okay? Let me tell you how this social media trend is damn near military. Say what, Rich? What do you mean this social media thing is damn near military? How do you say that it's military? What's nothing military about it? These kids aren't trained. I didn't say these kids were trained militarily. I said the programming is. Teen takeovers require strategic planning, a recon of an area. And the content creators have to absolutely get together on where to put something, and then they have to do a rapid mobilization. Sound familiar? hurry up and hurry up just to be ready. Rapid mobilization. These content creators use guerrilla advertising. Yes, guerrilla advertising. Ambush advertising. Boom, 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 boom. It just pops up select on certain people who are part of this network in Discord, in TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. And they get it and they hide it in all of these dummy apps inside of your children's phone. You need parents, guardians, to sit down with your child and make them open up every app in their phone. Go through their trash. Go through their phone. I don't care if they're a straight A student. You want satisfaction in knowing that your kid ain't part of this scene? You better confiscate those phones. And if you're not media savvy, you know somebody in your family that is, and they will come and help you. Get in your child's life. Be a busybody in your child's life this summer. This takeover stuff is not going to end. But unfortunately, it may end in your child being arrested. It may end in your child being assaulted. It may end in your child's death. It's that deep. The reason why they put them in PMs, DMs, and hidden apps is because they have decentralized communications, meaning they've gone dark. That don't sound military to you? That don't sound like an op? Listen, I'm sorry, folks. There's a lot of people in real life who know me. Once I dig into something and I tell you what it is, that's what it is. You don't have to believe me. Like I said, I'm a nobody. I don't have no letters in front of my name. I don't have no letters behind my name either. I'm just a careful observer in this environment, and I think for myself, and I follow through for myself, and I get the truthful information, and I bring it back and I give it to you with no thought, with no feeling, without being biased, except for Dunkin' Donuts because I can't stand them, with no bias about it. I don't care what you do with the information. I don't care if you don't believe me. I don't care if you don't believe me. That's not my job. My job is to come onto this program, The Wonderful World of Rich Blye, and tell you the truth. And if you don't believe me, go look up for yourself. Go find out for yourself. And if I'm lying, make sure you come back on the show next week and call me a liar and call me out. Let me tell you, these community riots, takeovers, have huge community risk. You are bringing down people's property values because now nobody wants to move into an area where they know that all this type of riff-raffing, floor and filth and riff-raffing and everything that's going on is going to be constant in their community. And now you're going to trap people who want to move. They can't sell their homes. That's what your kids are doing when you say they didn't do nothing. The destruction of property. I don't know about you. I had my car stolen. I had a car stolen first time in my life. It was the hardest month and a half before I got myself back into another vehicle. It was hard where I was doggone almost finished a note on the previous vehicle, like about a month and a half away from being finished on that to now having to have another one. Oh, Lord, have another note. Those hard times. To pay this Pennsylvania insurance. It's absolutely ridiculous. Got to go insurance shopping like I'm crabbing. Lower the basket, bring it up. Lower the basket, bring it up. Lower the basket, bring it up. That's what it's like shopping for insurance in Pennsylvania. The brawls. Folks, this stuff don't look good. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Our girls are out here fighting. Our girls are out here fighting. I'm not like, I understand that every now and again you got to get a fair one on. Listen, I get that. I get that. But the fair one shouldn't be televised. It should be two of y'all go off someplace in the woods somewhere, blah, blah, blah. Lock that thing up, get it all done. Everybody gonna know who won. Everybody gonna know who won. But we have to end this thing where we're glorifying the violence, and it's in our community. How can we expect people to show the respect that we're asking for if they're looking at our children and they're like, no. I'm not saying your child specifically. I'm not saying my child specifically. But that reflection comes onto my grandchildren. That reflection comes onto my daughters. I don't have to worry about my sons. But that's what it is. And we're creating a brand new stereotype that's giving these races nothing but logs to fuel the fire. We're giving it to them because we keep making the same dumb excuses for actions and behaviors that do have consequences. You cannot expect for me to sit through a debate after I see a film of a child beating another human being with a crutch and then saying that child that beat the man with the crutch needs more help than the man that got beat. You're not going to gas my head with that. That child knew what he was doing and wouldn't stop because that child lacked discipline. Period. End of story. When your child cannot be controlled, when you cannot control your child, when you can't tell your child to shut their mouth, when you can't tell your child to sit your hind parts down, when you can't tell your child that this is my house and you're going to do exactly what I say. Yeah, exactly what I say. Then you have a problem. So you got to go look at that mirror and you got to go soul search yourself. And you got to look at, first of all, what are you doing correctly and what are you doing incorrectly? What are the habits that they're picking up, and be honest with yourself. See, that's what I am. Through my trauma, through my therapy, through my recovery, I'm honest with me. I have child issues, yes, even as a grown father. I don't have to spring into action, but I do have to take these calls. I have to listen to, the things that my daughters go through and still be a helpful lending ear and a voice of reason and good advice and wisdom. But I don't get involved in their relationships. I just say, hey, you have to understand who you are and you have to deal with it accordingly with a certain discipline. Don't cut no shorts. Don't compromise anything. The situation is what it is. You're not going to solve the problem by beating around the bush. You have to hold yourself accountable to the situation. You have to make it yours. You have to own it. You have to have ownership, whether it's negative or positive. You have to have ownership of the situation. That's the only way you're going to solve a problem, is to take ownership of it. When I solved the problem in my working life, I didn't care who caused the problem. I had a restaurant full of people who wanted to be fed yesterday. I did not care if someone did not show up. A line cook didn't show up. A server didn't show up. A bartender didn't show up. Not my problem. says the customer. I want my drink. I want my appetizer. Where's my steak? Had the experience to jump behind the line. Had the experience to jump behind the bar. Had the experience to go wait a table. I know I'm not supposed to do that. I know that I got a staff that's supposed to do that, but I got some paying customers that got some green money and a nice platinum card that they want to spend some dough on. So I'm going to sit up here and get in my feelings and think that I'm such hot fire and brimstone and that I don't have to do those things because I got on a button-up shirt and a tie and I'm just, man, I'm going to solve my problem. I'm going to solve my problem. I'll deal with the issue later. But right now, the people standing in front of me, they're not the issue. They're the victim of circumstances if I don't step in and fix the problem. And that's what we have in our community. We need people who are willing to step in today, step up now, rapid mobilization, because these kids are rapidly mobilizing. We don't have time for the TED Talks. These kids are rapidly mobilizing. So while we spend this time talking about our feelings, they out there. They outside for real. They gone. Y'all old, slow. I know. Don't like this one, huh? Don't care. Don't care. Because you got to do something about it. Welcome to my world. Welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye on cmpradio.net, where I sit back and I tell you exactly how it is from the street level. No chaser. No, you know what I mean? Straight no chaser. These kids are mobilizing. They're using guerrilla warfare techniques with their advertising. Pop-ups, pop-up, 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 pop-up. Just before Memorial Day down in Georgia, the cops intercepted a weed pop-up, and then they put the video on. These kids were scrambling on the roof. They were dropping guns and dropping drugs and dropping money, running. And I know what people saying, oh, the cops came there. Oh, no, yeah, the cops came there because, first of all, where they were supposed to be, they weren't supposed to be in the place they were supposed to be. There was over 200 people inside of this warehouse. And then, again, according to local ordinances and laws, because everybody don't smoke weed and everybody don't have a free state of weed in their state, it's still illegal in certain places. You got to follow the law. I get it. Listen, I get it. Grown adults, do what you got to do. But these are children. These are minors. These are young adults who have not hit puberty yet. They have laws that they are enacting in every state, especially starting this legislative year, where they are going to come after your minor child. I'm not wishing that on you, but somebody's got to tell you. And you don't have to believe me. Go watch TV. They'll tell you on the news. Go watch TV. Go read about it. Go look up all of the new laws that were passed this year in the state of Pennsylvania. It'll blow your mind. See, we're people that want attention but don't pay attention. Oh, yeah, we're that today. We are that today. Because we're allowing our children to run us. We are allowing outside influences of teens who have peer groups who have been bullying or influencing your youth to be and do things a certain way, and because they want to be part of the in crowd, they don't want to be labeled a nerd or L7 or a square or a blockhead or whatever it is, whatever term that they use nowadays or whatever, to basically say that you don't fit with them because you ain't getting high, because you're not having sex, because you're not sitting up here and parading your body around on TikTok and Snap and everything like that, trying to corrupt the morals of your children. Separate yourself and your children from it. Separate yourself from that. Keep your children safe. Keep your value and your legacies the way that they need to be. Ain't nobody's business on how you run your house. But when you don't run your house, you make it the community business. Understand? Nobody's trying to be in your business. Nobody's trying to regulate your kid. Nobody's trying to tell you how you should raise your child and what values they should have. But they should have some decency. They should have some respect. They should have respect for other people's property and persons. They should know how to conduct themselves out in public. In the same manner that you want people to approach you with the same respect as a parent. You don't want nobody talking down to you and coming up to you all mean and all short and everything like that. But your child is out here doing that to grown adults. Because I know, because I confront a couple of them and I let them know, go get your father. Go get him. He ain't going to like it, but he going to understand. Because I'm going to talk to that man. You see, parents, I don't engage children who are not part of an event. I don't engage children that I don't know. I don't engage children when they're doing their activities and try to make them stop or whatever, this, that, and the third. I don't do that because I don't know the temperament of your child. I don't know what type of psychedelic medications you got them on. Yeah, you know, some of these kids are heavily medicated. So, no, I ain't doing that. But please understand, there are going to be some people that's going to put hands on your children. It's going to be some people that's not going to tolerate that disrespect. It's going to be some people that's going to check that. We see these men coming back into these domestic violence relationships and putting their hands on women. And domestic violence is on a rise in Delaware County. Domestic violence has surged. And because domestic violence don't have a color or a gender. It's human beings beating up on each other for something or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Money, love, cheating, whatever, I don't know. But again, lack of discipline, lack of control. I understand passion. I understand, you know, I'm not above, you know, getting upset if something, a slight was happening to me, but you ain't going to see me put my hands on nobody. Because I don't need the law involved in my stuff. I know how to handle you. I know what to do at a later date. I know how, if I, you know, my thing is just, you know, keep it moving and walk away. I know how to handle that. You ain't getting me jammed up. You already broke my heart. You want me to get jammed up too? No. Not at all. But seriously, folks, these teen takeovers that are happening all across our nation are only going to get wilder and more violent if we do not come together right now and address these issues before it gets worse. This is just the beginning of the summer. This is just the beginning. And with all of the craziness that's swirling around and people trying to influence your kid to believe this and influence your kid that this is going to happen and influence your kid and influence your kid and influence your kid and influence your kid. Where are you? Put your phones down, please. Pay attention to what your children are actually doing. Put your phone down for an hour and watch your kid. Watch your child. Look at the pattern that has changed from when they were younger into a teenager. Look how distant they have gotten with you through conversations and not talking to you. We used to talk like sisters and best friends, and now my daughter don't talk to me. That's because she's into stuff. When they start dressing and changing up, their dress and their look. Oh, yeah, that's influence. Somebody's influencing that. You need to find out who, you need to find out what, and you need to correct that. These teen takeovers, even if they don't go to them, they're watching them. We all know what imagery does to the brain waves of our children. We all know what it does to the synapses of our children. We should not be allowing our younger children to watch so much violence and call it entertainment. Violence is not entertainment to a certain degree. Football is, yes, it's violence. Boxing, yes, it's violent. Hockey, violent. But ain't nobody getting shot. Nobody's getting run over by a car. They get to pick up the next man and see them next week or see them in the playoffs. They get to fight for the title again. Nobody has to die. Nobody has to go to jail. But that's where we're headed. And I'm not saying that's for you or for you or for you or for you, but you might have a cousin that you know that's part of that takeover. And I want to say this to these grown male promoters. Y'all sick, man. Y'all sick. Y'all know what y'all attracted. Y'all sick. If you're going to do something like a takeover, give them something to do. Have a cookout or something. Have something. Do it that way. Make it meaningful. Make it purposeful. Don't just tell people to show up and just to hang out and they ain't got nothing to do. So the next thing they thinking is, what can I get into? Oh, look at it. Look at this store, man. We're going to go in there. We're going to go steal something. And that's where it starts. It starts with a theft. So now they start running. And we know how black kids do. They see one person running, everybody start running. So now you got a full scale this, full scale that. Now you got people down there looking for ops. People have been shooting children on the beach. What are you doing with a weapon on a beach? On a beach.
They don't go anywhere without their weapons, boss.
Bro.
They don't get in the ocean.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
They're not getting in the sand.
Virginia Beach is over the teen. Virginia Beach, I want to give everybody a heads up. If you head to Virginia Beach, you might want to consider having some other plans if you think you're going down for all them freaknecks and cruising and everything like that. Because they doing like this. You go down the boardwalk one time, you come back up, you getting pulled over, cruising. No cruising. No cruising. Zero. They done with it. They finished with it. Finished. A lot of cities, municipalities, they done with it, bro. They done with it.
What you mean cruising?
So, you know how back in the day at the Platte, you cruise through, right. You know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. Well, same thing down Virginia Beach. Right. Well, they know that invites different stuff. Mm-hmm. So they could say, we eliminating it. We don't want it. And we're not going to let you have it. And we don't care how much you cry. And we don't care what your feelings are. We are a beach community. They already don't want black people down there. They already don't want you down there. I'm trying to tell you, they really don't want you. They really don't want you. They really don't want you. But because tradition says you got to go there, hey, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and spend your money down in a place where people don't want you. They don't, bro. They don't. Them business shop owners.
You act like you're telling me something.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You're not telling me anything.
They don't want you, but they'll take your money and they'll tolerate you to a point.
Absolutely.
To a point. And when they're done taking your money, they're going to close up their shop and they're going to say to the officer, make sure my store don't burn, get rooted, da 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 da. And that officer is going to go, yes, because you are a taxpayer and you keep me at a job. And they're going to make sure that they protect and serve their community outsider. Ain't nobody got time for your boo-hoo and crying no more. Don't nobody care no more. They're like this summer, they're going to show you how much they don't care about you boo-hooing, crying, and saying your kid didn't do nothing when it's clearly on tape of a kid beating a man with a crush. Beat him. Didn't stop. So now it's, oh, he got a mental disorder. He shouldn't have been outside if he got a mental disorder. He should have been at home medicated. You should have been there with him. If that's the problem, if that person can't adapt to society and act like a human being, then that's your fault, parent, for sending them out there unsupervised, knowing that he got a propensity for violence if he doesn't have his medication. That's going to be your fault. They're not giving you wiggle room for excuses no more, bro. They're not doing it. So I'm warning very gently, because I come in here, I go to these meetings, I listen to these folks, they say what they say, I come back to the home, I come to the neighborhood, I vetted the information, it's true, it's true, it's true, it's true. I come tell you, oh, go ahead, oh, here, you don't know what you're talking about. All right. I can tell you right now, like I said, I get phone calls, PMs, text messages, pictures of all across Delco of folks who need answers to some of their problems because they can't trust their government or because they know that they're not going to get the right answers based upon certain things. Like I said, I don't have the answers to everything, but I do know the answers to some things based upon my experience of being in an environment of learning about my local government, learning my local government on purpose. All right. Get your house in order. Get your house in order is the last thing that I'm going to lead you with. Please put your house in order. Your house, whether it be your personal temple, whether it be you, your significant other, and your children, whether it be your entire generation and your clan and taking care of your elders. We are about to experience some different and difficult times, people. Start storing up your storehouses in the summer. Don't wait for the winter. Go buy that deep freezer now. Fill it with items now that are on sale in your deep freezer. So when those prices go up in the winter, oh yeah, the governor lied to you. Your electric rates are going up. He lied. I'm sorry. He lied. The elections are over. So your electric rates are going up. So's your gas. Your oil's already up. Okay? I'm just saying. Please, 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 because I'm telling you what I'm about to do. I'm about to buy me a deep freezer, bro. And then I'm about to go out Lancaster and I'm going to go get some of that real chicken. I'm going to go out there and get some real ground beef and some real turkey. Fresh off the farm, baby. And put it in my deep freezer and chill. Because I am sick and tired of this supermarket chicken. I'm over it, bro. I'm over it. I'm over it up this doctored, glued together, GMO infested, fake beef, fake chicken, pasted together bits of meat trying to resemble chicken legs and all this other I'm done with it. Done with it. Folks, get your houses in order. Now, before I leave you, I would like to read off an application for admission for Infinite Men of Honor. We've been talking about this on the program for a long, long time, and we are finally going to put it into fruition. The mission of Infinite Men of Honor, IMOH, is a brotherhood dedicated to uplifting men through integrity, accountability, and service. Our mission is to create a strong network of men who embody honor, stand firm in leadership, listen with understanding, and commit themselves to serving families, their communities, and future generations. We believe that true strength lies not in domination, but in responsibility, compassion, and purpose. This is a membership, so there will be membership dues, and those members are required to pay dues of $240 per year. That's less than $1 a day. That's less than $1 a day. That's less than $1 a day. Personal information, just your name, date of birth, address, phone number, email. What does the word honor mean to you, and how do you demonstrate it in your daily life? We have questions about your honor and value. Yes, we are not just accepting anybody that wants to come into this thing. We are absolutely looking for personable people who are going to execute with a purpose, who can act together in unison or act independently for the benefit of the group. Those are certain requirements. So that means that you have to be on a certain level. If you come in here to joke and smoke and just be there for the photo op, you need not apply. Community. In what ways are you currently contributing to your community, and how do you see Infinite Men of Honor helping you expand with that impact? Question number 3, describe a time you put service before self, and what did you learn from that experience? We are asking about your qualities of what makes you a strong leader, and how do you strive to live out to those qualities? Listening. Why is listening important to building strong relationships, and how do you practice active listening in your personal and or professional life? We are looking for brotherhoods and sponsorships with that have us built on accountability and connection. Every applicant must be spoken for by someone already connected to the mission here. I want to let you know that probably by Wednesday, bro, I'm going to have at least one person that's definitely going to sign up, with 2 possibles looking at it. There's a gentleman that I've been talking to. I talked to you briefly with Turn TV, and we've been speaking about connecting. I've sent him some links today, and I'm going to get him up here and get him on the podcast. He definitely wants to move in a certain direction. He definitely has those connections and resources from what I've seen already and what he's doing. And he already said that he's checking out this show, and he wants to do call-ins and all that other type stuff. But like I said, if we're going to do that, we might as well just go ahead and fit him in. I'm going to say what's up to my boy Reese. You know who you are, bro. And like I said, we definitely going to get this together. This commitment statement, we do have a commitment statement. And I know that once this is turned into a nonprofit, there will be bylaws, and they will be read to you, so that way you can understand this is a purposeful mission that we have with Infinite Men of Honor. This is a purpose. We're doing it on purpose, for a purpose, to be purposeful in our communities. This accountability, this integrity, and service is a must. Now, I know we all don't have time. We have busy, hectic lives. Lord knows I got a lot of stuff coming up for the month of June. But an hour is an hour. An hour is an hour. Even if you can only do it in a month, I expect you there. I expect you to put your money where your mouth is. I know I'm not going to let my brother pee down. I'm going to be part of these segments and these conversations, and I look forward to conversing with a lot of you that have come on to the platform and said that you want to be a part of it. Let's go. Let's hear your diverse way of looking at things. Let's hear some of your input in what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. I'm up for learning. I'm up for learning from other people of how to implement things and be dynamic in that implementation. But again, I'm just saying, for me personally, I'm ready. I'm actionable, and I don't want nobody wasting my time. I don't want you bending my ear off with what coulda, shoulda, woulda, all that other type stuff. I don't have time for it. Point, click, shoot. Let's go. Let's get the problem done. You need a hole dug? I'm going to dig the hole. You need the hole filled in? I'm going to fill the hole in. That's all I need to know. What needs to be done? Where you want it? Where do you want it? How you want it set up? Which kid do I need to talk to? Who needs a ride home? Those are solvable problems. There doesn't need to be a whole lot of talk. I'm not a talking person. I'm having a podcast where I'm expressing my point of view, of course. But when it comes to actionable situations with my American Legion, with my nonprofit, with my assistance with various nonprofits, everyone will tell you, Rich, you call him, he's ready to go. I don't need a lot of instructions. I can figure it out. I can see what your vision is. Put me in the spot, give me the directions, and I understand what to do. You want to check on me? Go right ahead. Please just watch me while I work, though. I really got this thing when I'm working. You know, I think very deeply while I'm working, and that's just me. I'm looking to do the best possible job for the benefit of the community and get a return on the investment with the community that our service brings. Okay? So we have to remember, Infinite Men of Honor has an application for admission. If you are interested, please contact us here at CMP Radio, info at CMP Radio. And make sure that you ask about what our Infinite Men of Honor application is for. Fill one out. And we hope to see you real soon with some of the things that we have to do. Okay? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Ooh. See you on the flip side.